Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
This one not day off in mind.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man do they talk. He do they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk, say, make we no talk. But thank God, say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And people make you shout.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mayegun don't come. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Mayegun na wa mo.
Hello there.
Mayegun na wa mo. Kamo to dodo. Mayegun ti de.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. It is Mayegun live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú.
We are going to have issue with that audio every time I play a video, so we'll manage it. Sorry about that.
Àní Mayegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
We received the news of the passing of Oloye Sunday Igboho's mother today, and we commiserate with them, and we pray that God will give the family the fortune to actually bear the loss. It's a sad one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Thank you so much. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them, Mayegun today.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Lórí YouTube. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. Digest them. Like the broadcast. Share it. Then sit back. Relax. While I begin to open them chapter by chapter. Share the broadcast.
I
don't know if I should have arrived or sort of entered with a siren, something like wow, 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 or wahala wa. And you know something about Nigeria politicians and the government in Nigeria. Every time they come out to deny something, ladies and gentlemen, that story is true. Now, few days ago, the Nigeria Judiciary replied that there was no tribunal judge under pressure from Tinubu. That's unusual, because a day before they replied, they made an official statement. A young guy disclosed a supposed secret meeting between Wike and some members of NJC, especially members of the Supreme Court, the justice of the Supreme Court, that he had meetings with them. And this particular meeting is, it doesn't matter whatever is presented in your tribunal case, they should look for a technicality and get it thrown out. They cannot by any means, remove Tinubu, there will be problem. What are the problems? Compromise. Judges in Nigeria have been accused of being so corrupt. Many of them, they have actually public record of their corruption. However, the greatest of all the corruption is the compromise that the criminal politicians in Nigeria have over them. Take this one, sir, for job well done. Buy them cars, give them, slush funds, and the rest of them to buy judgments or to conceal evidence. Now, the options before them is to take the offer and compromise the case. Or they should go ahead and think they will rule that Tinubu didn't win. It should be thrown out. Then all of their corruption and their corruption, evidence of their corruption, the money given to them at a certain time, have all been forwarded to the DSS, EFCC. Don't be surprised when you begin to see Daura or Dokwemu stupid service start arresting judges in Nigeria. While at wow, you can still share the broadcast, by the way. Mutideo. So good morning to you once again. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you. From wherever you are joining me from, it is Mayegun. Yes, live. Now, I know a lot of you are not supposed to be surprised. What you are about to watch is just a documentation like we do on the diary. As they come, we keep them in the diary. So that when you finally see the end goal, the anarchy, the entire breakdown of Nigeria, a lot of people who have been following every event that will eventually lead to that, they won't kind of too surprised. Only those who love to live in denial, pretend that some of these things are not happening, or just look for someone or some people to blame for it. All this will never let the issue go away. There is a problem. The problem is that the impression they are giving you is that Obi, Atiku, they have no case. That's the impression they are giving you. And historically, a lot of Nigerians don't expect the court to remove the president of Nigeria after they have sworn him in. It is like never happened. And if you see millions who are kind of skeptical, don't blame them. Usually what we believe is that once somebody becomes an executive, whether it's governor or president of Nigeria, they will have access to unlimited resources that they can use to their own advantage, right? To compromise any case against them, compared to when they had no such power and everybody is neutral. Now, to make it clearer, the Tinubu that a lot of you are seeing today, is Tinubu that is the president of Nigeria, okay? Whether legitimate or illegitimate, okay, is different from the Tinubu that you have been seeing all these years. Not even the Tinubu you saw as governor, not Tinubu you have been seeing as Lagos landlord. There is more now, which means when you want to fight somebody like that, you are no longer fighting him. You are fighting the establishment. So usually, the fight is not always kind of so obvious. Like, you know what I mean? The compromise, the bribery, the corruption, and the total compromise of any such case has always been like expected, but it's never been made public. Or people never really reacted to them that much until Obi joined the presidential race and participated. Atiku has been participating in elections in Nigeria since 2007, that he wanted to be president of Nigeria. He has been to court for about 3 times. This should be his third or fourth time that he's going to be to court challenging election in Nigeria. And most of the people he challenged are those who have gained that power and they could use that within. You know what they can use? When somebody become president, okay, everybody answer to him. Everybody. All of the institutions, they do. Even if they are, you know, why they answer to him? That moment gives him the power to appoint his own loyalist, trusted people that can carry out every sinister move that he wants to make for him without asking questions. So therefore, it will change all the head of all institutions. You see the judiciary, which they will tell you, go to court, go to court. The judiciary themselves, they are people like you. You get me? They depend on whatever these politicians have to offer them. Now, they don't offer them that like, usually it's not like, oh, take this bag of money. Oh, take this car. No. What they usually do is they start with, oh, let's promote them. Oh, let us promote this and that. And in their career, promotion is more money. And, you know, with your political connection, if your promotion is coming as a political bribe for a possible role you are going to play in a legal case, now, they won't see that as bribe. They will just be like, but they were due for promotion now. So the way they build that is never really much in the open. For example, having the Chief Justice of Nigeria pretending to be on a wheelchair, traveling to London, disguising, until it became public that they have to make an announcement or sort of a clarity on it. Yeah, these were things that they never really come this public. Okay, journalists who come across information like that, they get those stories killed, or they get the journalist killed. Do you get that now? Now, digging this social media, public, or should I say citizen journalism, has brought the rot in the establishment in Nigeria even further into the open, to the chagrin and surprise of so many, or maybe not so many. So the judiciary in Nigeria that are now, they are, like I said, they are people like you. So from what we have now heard, like I said, when they deny something, ladies and gentlemen, that thing is true. The only thing that usually happens whenever such information become public is that they either go ahead and do it. First, they will deny it, okay? Then they will go ahead and do it. And then they will then say, what is wrong in doing that? Okay? And they will now double down and say, yeah, okay, yeah, what are you going to do about it? That's how they have been operating, okay? Now, they are denying that the tribunal judges in Obi versus Tinubu, Atiku versus Tinubu, they are not under pressure. Let me tell you something. That you get to know that there is problem, and it is called problem in the house of these evil people. What's that problem? Somehow, despite having the old resources to compromise the entire thing, INEC that conducted the election is objecting their own evidence. The same document that they gave to the petitioner, they were in court and they were rejecting them. They were objecting. And when it was time for them to write their own written address about the entire argument, they said all of the evidence, there was no single evidence. INEC, in that same thing you will all watch, Tabi, APC, Egbekegbe came back to say the same thing. There was no evidence. Now, with all of these resources in their kitty, 35 billion naira for the judiciary, 110 billion naira for the National Assembly lawmakers, they seem to still be worried. When they submitted their written address, was like, if the court should look into the evidence presented by these petitioners and remove Tinubu, that's 8.8 million. Meanwhile, in case if you don't know, Tinubu has increased his score at the tribunal. INEC said Tinubu scored 8.7 million. they have increased it to 8.8 million. In their own supposed no evidence presented, no nothing, no, they presented no counter evidence, and they didn't counter the presented evidence, and they didn't present more than 2 witnesses. Okay? But they finally added up, they said their number is 8.8. And by so doing, there is no evidence. Throw everything out. So behind the scene, there is problem. You know that when the issue of Tinubu's forfeiture of 460,000 US dollars for heroin trafficking, when David Udeni released the whole detail, PDP, people destroying people, they ignored it completely. I'm talking about the supposed main opposition in Nigeria. They ignored it. But surprisingly, in their petition against Tinubu, it became one of the cardinal prayers, cardinal evidence presented against Tinubu, the Chicago drug trafficking forfeiture. So the same David Udeni dropped something that is also adding to other available or readily available information out there. You know what we are going to do for you to understand this better? We are going to piece all of the pieces together, okay? And I will help you. We'll do it together. Don't worry. There were reports that Wirewike met with some members of the NJC Supreme Court, including some of the tribunal members. In fact, 3 of the tribunal judges, they have been regular customers of Wirewike on so many cases like that. They were on his payroll. Hopeless Uzondigba was able to kind of help be the middleman between those between Tinubu and the judges, from what we have heard. And their deal, their offer are very, very simple. So the first piece of the information is their connection, the political connection with this judicial system in Nigeria, especially the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Readily, characters like Ariwola, the Chief Justice, Wirewike, the former governor of Rivers, Hopeless Uzodingba, the governor of Imo State. Now, these established characters are representing the interests of Tinubu and others. Their offers, from what we have heard, is that, listen, you need to save Nigeria from anarchy. If you should go and rule that Tinubu should be removed, Nigeria is going to go into anarchy, and you will be blamed for it. And so you will be considered as people who are participating in an act of treason. And here is why. We have your compromise. All we ask of you is this: throw the nonsense case out. We will deal with whatever happened after. And if you decide not to, then you will have your days with the DSS and EFCC. They are not going to have to investigate you. It's already done. It's called compromise. Wirewike, that is believed, and then Hopeless Uzodingba, the 2 of them that are believed to be those 2 instruments, two characters that have contributed greatly to whatever corruption you allegate against the Nigerian judiciary today. They are going to be, they said they will be witnesses in their trial. It's like using a compromise to threaten the people that are likely going to throw all of you under the bus. So when the rumor came that one of the judges called Ugo resigned, it took days for them to finally come out and said, no, he didn't. But last night, David tweeted this. And it has to do with somebody who sent an SMS to him that the president just rose from a meeting with Governor Uzodinma, DG SSS, Chairman ICPC, and instructed to go after the tribunal judges and including the lawyers of Atiku and Peter Obi. Please, I heard this from a reliable source. Now, because of the person of David, you will never take such message with levity. As we have already seen the SSS. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I want you to start putting the pieces together and you can make do with this information whatever you want with it. Okay? Last week, the Emefiole's lawyer was on a TV program and he was accusing the DSS of preventing Emefiole from seeing his lawyers, including whatever charges they have against him. And the court has said he should be released, blah, 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 blah. Daura Secret Service that has turned to Dokwemu's stupid service. The handler of their Twitter, forgetting the fact that it is government secret agent, Nigerian government official handle. They went straight, that handler went straight under that video and barrage of tweets followed. DSS was tweeting, attacking Emefiole's lawyer. And you know what they said? That Daura Secret Service said, Emefiole's lawyer is also IPOB lawyer. And Emefiole is being accused of sponsoring terrorism and IPOB. Look at this IPOB lawyer trying to release their sponsor, Emefiole, from our custody. All of you, every IPOB, we will hunt you down, something like that. It was like, what the hell? DSS official handle attacking Emefiole's lawyer using IPOB slaw rhetoric. Wow. So it's just a matter of time before, if these judges don't play balls, before they start arresting them and accusing them of sponsoring IPOB or sponsoring this or that. And for your information, for the past 5 days, they have been staging different kind of drama in Delta states. According to them, the Nigerian soldiers have started clamping down on IPOB in Delta states. IPOB in Delta states. Are you being serious? If you don't understand the scripts, then you are welcome to my class. Emefiole from Delta State is being accused by the Dokwemu Stupid Service that he is sponsoring IPOB, is sponsoring gun running. All of these are the accusations coming from Tinubu. Unfortunately, the end goal, it may not be known to all of you. Divide and rule, you call it. No, it's more evil than divide and rule. However, somebody alerted David he just left a meeting with them. And the next thing you are going to hear is that never happened. It is just rumor, this and that. What did I tell you about them when they deny? It simply means it is true. Of course, they may kind of change the way they will handle it after that. It is already in the open. Now, the judges who are already compromised, they are currently at a dilemma, a very, very big dilemma. Now, the Tinubu's people, Were Wike, Uzodinjo, and the rest of them, they are assuring the judges that just do what we told you. Whatever is the backlash, we will protect you. Okay? And if the evidence as presented, incontrovertible evidence of this rigging is completely upheld, there is also another dilemma. Atiku is asking the courts to declare him the next president based on the fact that Tinubu should be disqualified for perjury, for forgery, and on. There shouldn't be any rerun. Atiku should be declared the winner. On the other hand, Peter Obi and his lawyers, who in their own written address as well, they are asking for the same thing. Now, Atiku may not react if the tribunal comes out and said they are throwing his case out. But you can't say the same thing about the obedient. The reason why I want to remind you of this is this. Of course, some people are saying that in order to play the script well, they may let the tribunal say Tinubu or INEC made a mistake about the election. There should be a rerun to be on a kind of a safe ground, middle ground. So when they say there should be a rerun, it will just send a kind of a chill down the spine of everybody like, oh my God, what if there is a rerun? What's going to be? Like, who and who is going, that confusion kind of, when is it going to be? Then they will begin to tell you it is not over because they are going to Supreme Court. So you know the difference. If they have to say there should be a rerun from the tribunal, it will not just be Tinubu that will be going to Supreme Court. Now all of them go Supreme Court to ask for Supreme Court. Tinubu will be going to Supreme Court to be declared winner. Atiku will be doing the same thing. Obi will be doing the same thing. Now the ruling from that tribunal will be held. But don't forget, you see this whole pressure on the entire judges and the judiciary. They are not coming from you. The pressure that a lot of you that are exposing what is really going on, the pressure you are mounting is going on to Tinubu and gang. And in return, the Tinubu and gang, they are pressuring the judiciary. Do you want me to explain that again? See, things are so serious that in some places, they put up a billboard so that you can know this is serious. They paid for a billboard in some part of Nigeria, okay, to tell them that all eyes on the judiciary. And this act of you expecting the judiciary to look into all the evidence critically, without looking for technicality nonsense. So your eyes are on the judiciary, which is okay, right? That is not in any way blackmailing judiciary. That is not any way pressuring them. But the fact that you are interested in judiciary, and a lot of you, and because you are interested in the judiciary, there are many, many rumors. But you know one thing about all the rumors you are hearing, there are some truth in them too. And that is why when you begin to sieve them, you begin to look through them, you can tell what is pure fallacy, garbage. And you can tell something, you can tell about information that need further probe. And say, this one looks credible. Let's probe it further. In all of these rumors. But the bottom line is that a lot of you are interested now. This is unusual, okay? It's been months after elections, and it has been almost 2 months after they have sworn for, they swear for Tinubu. So normally it's not like this. A lot of you are so interested. That means that everything that is happening, you want to scrutinize. And by scrutinizing, that means the judiciary may want to do the right thing. By so doing, you are mounting pressure on Tinubu and gang, who believe that by now, everybody should have moved on. You are not moving on. So what if the judiciary decided to do the right thing? What if, believing that they are under their control, everything is under control, the media is telling you, they are telling you that, there's no evidence, this and that. Everybody is pretending publicly that nobody can remove Tinubu. But behind the scene, they are looking at, what if these judiciary people, we cannot just leave them. So when they submitted their written address, they threatened them. They told them that removing Tinubu can lead to anarchy because 8 million people voted for him. 8 million people didn't vote for Tinubu. Of course, people voted for Tinubu. Are you with me? Yeah, people voted for him. Don't say nobody voted for him. People voted for Tinubu. Millions of people did everything. Those, whether they forced them or whether they bought them or whether they themselves or Ombudsman and all of that, they did it themselves. So it doesn't matter. Millions of people voted for Tinubu, but these millions of people, they are not 8 million. So they threatened the judiciary and told them removing him can cause anarchy. That's a threat, a direct threat. Then they turned around and they said, all of you are threatening the judiciary that if the judiciary, if the judgment doesn't go in your way, you are going to cause problem in Nigeria. No, it's not you, it's them. It is Tinubu and gang that are telling the judges, listen, don't listen to all this noise. So don't cause problem in Nigeria. Your judgment can keep Nigeria or break Nigeria. They are the ones telling them. And you know one thing, they are going even further. A lot of you are telling them that there will be wahala if they rig the judgment, Abi. Don't be say you get tank, you get anything, no, Abi. They are going further. They are opening up compromise on them. Compromise is the, what do you call it? The criminal evidence against them that nobody have. You can accuse them of corruption. You can accuse all the judges of corruption, but you don't have evidence. The politicians have the evidence. They are the ones who pay the bribes. They are the ones who give them properties. They are the ones who pay their medical bills behind the scene. They have all the evidence. They are the ones who tell them what to do on one judgment here or the other. You don't have. You just know they are corrupt. So they are going further to say, we will disgrace you. You will go to jail, being judge, Abi. Because if you fail, if you do anything against what we want you to do, remember there is still a Supreme Court, and Chief Justice of Nigeria is on our side. So just remember that. Don't risk your life. Don't risk your family comfort. Don't risk your career. Don't risk your pension. Don't risk your elite ticket. Because of all these people that are saying that you should do the right thing. The real pressure is not coming from you to the judges. Your own pressure is your interest. And it is on Tinubu. They don't know if there could be any surprise. They are not leaving anything for a chance. But they will tell you, they are not worried. That's what they are telling you, that they are not worried. They don't care. You are just noisemakers. We know that all of you, when the judgment come now, you are not going to accept it. What are you going to do? You want to? So they are now kind of, in return, they are blaming you for what they are threatening to do if they are removed. How many of you remember when I said during the campaign, I'm going to take you back a bit. I just want to remind you of something, okay? During the campaign, I said, when the whole thing was so tense and the obedient were so sure of that they will win. And it was pretty much like they will win as well if they were allowed to really vote. I said, with the level of division that you have seen, with the level of a tribal, ethnic, religious division you have seen, the hatred that were displayed, the toxicity that were displayed during the campaign. Say, for example, what will happen if Tinubu, those of you who are so scared of APC, what will happen if Tinubu is declared winner and they rig the election? A lot of you told me they no bond them well. They should try it first. Nigeria would be this or that. I said, okay, I'll take that. Now, to those of you who are beating your chest that Igbo man will never be president of Nigeria, Peter Obi will never be president of Nigeria, that if they now do the charade election, they can't do them. They can't declare Peter Obi winner. What are you going to do? They were like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not possible. They will start riots in northern Nigeria. Well, it could be this. Nigeria will be ungovernable. You remember that time? Another said, but you go forget it. It will never happen. It won't happen. They won't make that mistake. Remember those days? We were talking about things that you were not too sure, 100% what will happen. Okay? Whatever conviction you had then, somebody like me, who confidently kept telling you that they will rig you out. And this rigging is going to be different from the rigging you have ever witnessed, okay? And it happened. Not because I'm a prophet. It's because I'm talking from experience. Despite all those self-conviction, when they now rigged everything, and they said, go to court, I asked another question. I said, those of you who became so quiet that you couldn't even celebrate any polling units won by Tinubu or APC. During that election time, everywhere you turn to, Obi this, Obi that, Helupi, here and there. Okay? We couldn't see any video of where they are celebrating Tinubu winning any polling unit. I said, what if you now go, the tribunal or the court now said, Tinubu didn't win? Despite all of the toxicity you have actually embedded in yourselves, participated in, what if after all of that, they can't say Peter Obi won and is declared winner from the courts? What are you going to do? It's not going to happen. It's impossible. It's kekiniko. I said, you see, you have not healed and you may never heal. I said, you obedient. They have rigged you, part one. A lot of you thought it should lead to revolution. They said, no, do it legally. I said, they will rig you in court again, no. What if they now rig you and they legitimize Tinubu? And they said the election was fair and fair. No problem. Tinubu should continue. What are you going to do? A lot of you, like you told me before the election, Mayegun, wait till after that. And I said, there is no point in fighting yourselves over things that are not in your control. None of you, none of us here is in control. Not even Peter Obi. Not even his lawyers anymore. The destiny of what will happen in Nigeria in the next 6 months going forward now rests on the shoulder of 5 people, 5 judges. The 5 judges that are already having the allegation of pressure, corruption, compromise, and on and on and on. Sure you get now? There's no point in fighting yourselves. If you have any energy in you, save it. Save it, because you won't be able to decide anything anymore. The time you were able to, you remember, they said your vote is your power. I said they were lying to you. You have no power. These guys will never give you any power. So they said, go and get PVC, go and get PVC. I said, you can get PVC from now till the end of the time. Now people will go count your votes, announce the number. They are the most important people in your election. Unfortunately, the most important people in your election is not you. This one is going to be different. Until you saw professors, university professors, unable to read their own results. The results they wrote down, they are unable to read them. You start seeing university professors stammering. Something you wrote down, no, APC. 1,200 no, 10,000 to, sorry, 5,000. They start acting stupid. Meanwhile, you have done everything. Now, to announce who is the leading, who won, who lost, is now left in the hand of the crooked people that they have put in place. Go through the right channel, go through the right channel. Now, then build the channel they are calling right channel. They set up the rule. They say, yeah, come and play in the game. Don't trust them. It's not up to you. But unfortunately, maybe a lot of people don't see that way. Now, the enmity, the division, has become part and parcel of you. Abi? So now the decision on what is going to happen lies or rests on the shoulders of 5 individuals. So if they come out and say there is evidence, therefore Tinubu didn't win, there should be a new election, there will be jubilation in Nigeria, not anarchy. I can tell you that. But it's going to be a short-lived celebration. Do they want to go that route? Do they want you to celebrate a bit? Make it look real? Or they are just going to go for the choke, the jugular, and just tell you you had no case? What are you going to do when that happens? That is, we'll wait for that until then. But there is something I want to tell you quickly. There is a shege in Nigeria. And this shege, that they call the shege banza, brought about by Tinubu and his no plan rogues. Well, they do have plan. The plan is to tax you. You are taxing the poor people. You want to take from them and pretending that you are also going to take money somewhere. And you're going to share that money to them in order for them to cushion the effect of the economic destruction that you are supervising. How genius is that? Anyway, the what do you call it? Tinubu and gang. The people who are currently telling you, not even just Tinubu and gang. Yeah, Tinubu and gang, they have done so much terrible number on Nigerians in the last 2 months, okay? That few places right now, you are seeing the once upon a time Yoruba Ronu lunatics. The Lagos Abobakus, the Agbadorians, they are beginning to now confess. Just 2 months ago, they are confessing, telling you that they have regretted. In fact, they are waiting for what do you call it? They are waiting for the tribunal too. Their Kolu has failed them. I have a news for you, ladies and gentlemen. You know I won't lie to you. Okay? You know that, Abi? Great. Don't ever believe any of those lunatics. If you see anybody that is posting on social media saying that they regret for voting for Tinubu, that they followed tribal, religious, ethnic, and whatever other divisive political narratives that APC, Egbekegbe pushed. And somehow, some of you are going there to begin to show empathy. Stop it. You hear me now? You should stop it. Because you see those bigots, they are irredeemable. Are you listening to me? If you see anybody, especially if that person carries any Yoruba name, I'm a Yoruba man, you know that, Abi? And I can tell you very much about them. They are the cancer that are currently in the fabric of the Yorubas, the Yoruba Omoluabis. They are the people who have brought about the, what do you call it? This tag or bigotry tag that a lot of you are currently experiencing in Nigeria today. The one they elevated to this national politics of Nigeria. Yorubas are not bigots. And let me tell you why. Some of these bigots that you see today, they call the real Yorubas Omoali. They are supporting and promoting a man that nobody knows his father. He denied his father. Nobody knows his mother. He denied his mother. All right? In Yoruba land, you are believed that if you reject your father and your mother, you have rejected your origin. Ó ti gbàgbé orísun ẹ nìyẹn. That same Tinubu, who shouldn't be a role model to any red-blooded Yoruba son or daughter anywhere in the world. Okay? But today, surprisingly, you are seeing some of these lunatics who are saying they are pro-Yoruba, more Yoruba than other Yorubas. But here is the sample. Tinubu promotes agberoism, all risers. You know what I mean? People who have money without any enterprise. People who have no real, you know what I mean? Billionaires with no invention, nothing. People who live off, or you can call them the scavengers, opportunists, chancers, and you don't need education to do all of that. So, therefore, when the likes of Tinubu came, they destroyed the education in Yoruba land. Okay? They turned Yorubas, because what's the point? You went to school. After all of that, you have no job, no nothing. You are growing old. Your life is wasting away before you. There is no achievement, no progress. So then suddenly, you could probably become a ticketer, collecting tickets, a political jobber, or something, and you start living off that. Then you become a big man. People start respecting you, all right? And then you know that the whole going to school or not going to school is a pure waste of time. Today, a lot of them want to be politicians in Yoruba land, you know? And that is why the mediocres, the worst of the worst, are those who are controlling the political leverage of that same place. And that is why mediocrity, today education is almost nothing, ruined, you will say, for a region that was once a pride in education and educating our people. Go to Yoruba land today, dilapidated school buildings, and see the school children themselves. See all, so this is what they promoted in Yoruba land. Awolowo gave Yorubas and non-Yorubas free education for years. The product of that spread over far and beyond Yoruba land, all across, Nigeria, and far and beyond Nigeria, the product of the free education of Awolowo. What is the education policy of Tinubu? What is the education policy of APC in Yoruba land? And what is the impact of that? So the same characters, the same rogues, suddenly turn around. They are more Yorubas than Yorubas. They are calling Yorubas who rejected these never-do-wells, these opportunists, these destiny killers, those who made Yoruba land to become almost a refugee land. Go there, you will think they just fought Yoruba land. They just fought war in Yoruba land. Go and see where people are living. Go and see how people are living in that same Yoruba land in Nigeria. Then they turned around because of that druggie, Escobati. They started calling their fellow Yorubas Omo Ali for not supporting the druggie. And they started the ethnic baiting, tribal baiting of non-Yorubas for the sake of this druggie. So I know them very well. If they turn around and start singing that they regret, they have no regrets. If they call for another election tomorrow, these same characters, they will tell you, right, that they are more Yoruba. Yoruba is this, and it's for the sake of Yoruba. They cannot. So don't believe them. Do not fall for it. Do not. We have jobless young people in Yoruba land, graduate, educated, not educated. They are roaming the streets. They are just like our own awaiting time bomb in Yoruba land. So they turn them to what? They turn them to the Yoruba political alimajiris that are suffering and smiling. So when they turn around and tell you they regret because of the hardship they are facing, do not believe them. Do not. Characters like this, before the election, they were able to express this kind of, read this. So, here is your next president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the GCFR of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In case you don't like him, you can jump into a lagoon we are not going to miss you as a medical doctor in Nigeria. Àwọn olórí burúkú. 2 months after, this is the same olórí burúkú calling people olórí burúkú. When the shege started with them, the same way they came up. I swear, my sister, I regret everything I did for this man. A very wicked and useless man. Are you following me? Now, here is another one. They are conditioned to be like that. No amount of suffering will make them change. See this guy on the left. After they did their My Lagos, Not Your Lagos for Sanwo-Iku, when he went on to say, Lagos State University school fees, indigene with Yoruba record, 75,000 naira. Non-indigenes, 750,000 naira if you want to school in Yoruba land. So, if you want to rent houses in Yoruba land, you remember those times? This way, so some of them had no jobs. Some of them, they are not living in Nigeria. Are you with me? For those ones who are living in Nigeria, if you see them one-on-one, the horrible life they live, the abject poverty they are living in their lives, you will be like, shey, these are the olori brukus I am replying on social media. Look at the person I am replying on social media. For them to push their Yoruba Lokon, they said, in Yoruba land, if you want to buy land, in Yoruba land, they has to be cheap if you are Yoruba. If you are not, if you are Hausa, Fulani from the north, for example, if they are selling land for 1 million naira in Yoruba land, Yorubas will buy the land for 1 million naira. Hausa Fulani will buy the land for 1.5 million naira. But Igbos, these are the things these guys were posting on social media. They said Igbos will buy the land for 10 million naira. If you can't buy it, go back to Agulu, Anambra State. If you are in Yoruba land, and you want to send your children to school, if the Yoruba children are going to free schools, free education, all the non-Yorubas, they must be paying at least 500,000 naira to send their children to school in Yoruba land. Now, if your children want to go to school, university in Yoruba land, when the Yorubas pay 70,000 naira, those of you who are Igbos, you will pay 1 million naira. These were their wishes, to punish those who stood against Yoruba Lokon, ethnic baiting, jingoism. They got to a point whereby they said Yoruba jobs for Yoruba people. And we were asking them, can you list five big Yoruba businesses in Lagos, that has the highest employers. That have more workers in Lagos. There is no Yoruba job. There is no Igbo job. There is no Hausa job. These are jobs created by Nigerians from everywhere, right? Now, these guys were campaigning for Yoruba job. If you are a Yoruba man and you have a business in Lagos, you must sack that Igbo and employ a Yoruba. They said, if you are a landlord in Lagos, if your rent is, let's say if your rent is 1 million naira per annum, if Yorubas want to take those houses, you must give the houses to Yorubas for 500,000. And you must share the rest of the money on the Igbos that you rent the houses to. And the Igbos must pay 2 million naira. That's it. Or else they should go back to their place. Those who are promoting this, and we were telling them, because of Tinubu, because of Sanwo-Iku, people who are stealing your money, those who are actually like, for election, you are going to destroy your own, last, education has come now. Everybody will have to pay the same price. Okay? They have removed subsidy. Abi? Everybody will have to pay the same transportation money, Abi? Everybody will have to go to the market and pay the same price for the same food now. Abi? Now, there is no Yoruba market for Yoruba food. There is no Fulani market for Fulani food. There is no Igbo market for Igbo petrol. Everybody will have to go there. Now, there is no Muslim schools that you will say, okay, this one a Muslim hospital with Muslim bill. This one a Muslim Christian schools with Christian bills. Everybody is existing in that same place right now. And I told you, I did. So when they turn around and start telling you that, you know what I mean? When they tell you that they regret, no, they don't. I'll show you another one. Here is another one. You might have seen it, okay? Oh, how I was stupid enough to think that this old man has solution to a complex Nigeria is what still baffles me. Almost 2 months now, no ministers. We still don't know his policies. So much for someone who promised to hit the ground running. Nothing is an emergency to this guy other than worsening the already existing hardship of citizens. I really like the way it is happening, and thank God, I am also paying through my nose. I used to form middle class before, only to discover I am amongst the poorest of the poor. I really wish the court can at least quickly throw us into a rerun so that we can we can correct this error of a president. How some people, unrepentant agbadoist, Ogunrinde Oluyemi, we thought Buhari was the problem. We business owners envisaged a boom once he left office. But here we are. Don't come and tell me it is just 2 months. It is from the morning we know how the evening will be. This is a disappointing start. Peter Obi, even though I didn't support him, would have gone miles ahead by now. But I chose ethnicity over competence. Our hope is supposed to be renewed based on what was promised, but this is shege. See how the purchasing power of the common man is sliding down just in 2 months. Have you seen shege? Have you seen shege? Shege ain't you? Or are you still pretending? Are you still pretending that these guys don't give a left ass about you? Take a look at this guy. He happened to be one of the Agbadorians from Ekiti. In fact, he became famous on social media. And according to information, his name is Ayeni Clement. Ayeni Clement Kayode is from Ekiti. And he considers himself as a spiritualist, somebody who hears from God. During the campaign, God told him that Peter Obi will cry. God told him that Tinubu is going to be their president. God told him that Tinubu is going to change Nigeria in a way that a lot of people were going to be surprised. And so many other nonsense that he said God told him. In 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, the story has changed. Ma, drink tea while we listen to this clown, Kayode from Ekiti.
Yeah, as I was telling you, I am one of a very special and well-dedicated spiritual and physical, financial food soldier for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I supported him so much that I've even received enemy, even in the Christendom, in Khan, even by many pastors and servants of God and Christians. Why? I always supported him and assured them that nothing is going to make him not to win. Are you hearing me? I even go to the length of sold my pilot jeep in following him and in doing prayer, following him, lock ourselves with other 6 people, making 7 indoor for him in fasting and prayer, white fasting, that he must win. Follow him to campaign with fasting in many places. Are you hearing me? Nasarawa, Abuja. Are you hearing me now? Ondo, Ekiti, Lagos, Osun, Delta, Edo, in many places. Some people see me, I think he saw me in some of the places. Both up to Tesmin Stadium in Lagos. Are you hearing me? till we even go to governor's house, that is in Marina. That is where me and him have some little talk. He handed me over that day to Fasasi and the Kamal that whatever I want him to do, he will do. I discussed with them on phone with Fasasi. I go, in fact, I sacrifice a lot. Are you hearing me? I learned maybe Fasasi collected money, maybe he asked them to give me money, they didn't give me. I know I lost on that area. But that should not even be too much painful. Are you hearing me? If the government is so favorable, because I'll be assuring people here and there, churches and private, and don't worry, vote for this man, the government is going to be the best. Immediately coming, things will start coming down that 1 month. But may I tell you something? Since the week they saw in Tinubu, I don't think I'll be able to use my motor to go out 3 times because the fuel price. And I'll be using vehicle since 1986. The first vehicle I used in life was given to me by President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. He know me one-on-one because God used me to reveal to him the secret of Mama Fasa when they are plotting that. So we know one-on-one. I was even still in some years backward that I'm the one that prayed for him during his birthday. So, but I cease not to be following, and Tinubu himself know me. See the way this government is going. Before he come in, are you hearing me? I used to give them 5,000, 7,000, or 10,000 to buy food for 5 days. But now, if I give them 20-something thousand, it will not be even good. We can't eat even enough with my children and family. Last Sunday, I went for a program at Igbaraudo. Do you know what? I have to disguise myself not to dress the way people will recognize me to enter public transport. Why? The Jeep I'm having now, I can't fuel it to go that place. I will use about 15,000 to fuel, go and come to Igbaraudo, to Ekiti here. We have an ordination in our headquarters. I just managed to carry the motor to go there. Are you hearing me? The day we do training, I have to follow other person. I can't carry motor. Can you see such a life? If me now in this level, what of other poor people that I know they are suffering? Many people are calling me. Abba. And what I'll be telling people is that government of Tinubu is going to be for the masses. This is not how to start. Yoruba make a parable. They said dry dog is sweet, but it's something we are going to eat before the dog dry. Yoruba say that it's going to good, it's going to good. That is how many other governments have been saying. He's supposed to have put things in order. We have about 4 refineries. This man has not put any of them in order. Then you are removing subsidy to put people into trouble. Huh? If I talk or I go out there in anywhere now, they will kill me. I am telling you. In many parks, some of these chairman of union that they respect me in Oye, in Ado, in Lagos, they respect me because I am a prophet and God has used me for them in one way or the other. Both in Kuje, both in Abuja, and Suleja. When I was telling them, don't worry, it's going to be better. I am telling you the other day that I was in Oye, when I want to talk, they wanted to, the way they are attacking me, if I did not use wisdom, maybe I could have murdered, maybe they could have killed me in that place. Just because I don't know. Maybe I didn't go in spirit well. I was just seeing that God says he's going to win. But I don't know it's going to be a greater punishment to Nigeria again. What kind of government is he running? All I want to say, because just as you told me the other day that we talked, that it's not that they are giving you money for all the efforts for the group you create, which I believe this group you create contributed, if not 10 or 20% vote to him of that campaign. At least, let me say 20% of the campaign, this group you created. And I don't believe they have rewarded you in any way. Are you hearing me? But then, even though they not reward you personally, if the policy is favorable to people, you will know you have been rewarded. But this is government. It's a worst government that I've ever seen. Under 2 months, it's a worst government I've ever seen throughout my lifetime. So if care is not taken, are you hearing me now? Yoruba said, he that bring a lame person, we know how to take him away. Are you hearing me? I only I remember the time of Abacha. I was supporting military, but when Abacha come in, people that used to talk to when I get to see, one of the people that I was praying for in government then in soldier, they are retiring now as a major general. Are you hearing me? If this government is not careful and we go indoor for 3 days, and I know one thing or the other, Tinubu will be removed. I'm telling you, it's going to be an issue. It will be removed. Only 3 days marathon fasting. If I tear my clothes in the presence of God with tears, I know nothing will make him not to be removed, because God have done so through me in 1998 during Abacha. So I want you to see how you are going to pass this message to them. Adeboye Gabasasi make use of me, collected money on my behalf. 1 naira I was not giving. Are you hearing me? I suffer. I invest my money, my spiritual capability, my time, my connection in collecting people. Forget about that. Even if I was not rewarding personally, say take. But if the economy, if his policy is good, why not? I'll be happy. I will be so much happy. But the way thing is going, Tinubu is going to be a bad history in Nigeria. With that bad his wife. Initially, I don't even like that his wife, because it's a religion. Even be a Christian, he doesn't have mercy. He doesn't have anything empathy. That is Oluremi Tinubu. He knows me one-on-one. I can say it to his own face. 2019, when Asiwaju was to send me to Israel, I go there to go and pray specially for him not to have loss of life. And I told him he's going to become the president. The man was ready to do it. Yes, he did it later. But do you know that Remi Tinubu, to my own face, was discouraging him? Of a blessed memory, Alhaji Latif, one of the aides, Friday, know what I'm saying? Are you hearing me? That woman.
Àtisebo, àtisete, àti ń parọ́ tipẹ́, àtisete, tító òdìmú òdodo òsì mọ́, àtisete, kágbàdé fálárì, àtisete, kágbẹ̀bí fálárì, àtisete, adájọ́ ń parọ́ torí owó, àtisete, òdìlú ń parọ́ nítorí ipò, àtisete.
What's going on? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?